I'm Ngozi.
And this is Nnena.
And welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to talk about a few topics. We want to change things up a little. And first we're going to start off with Memorial Day weekend. A lot of countries have opened up their economy in the USA post-COVID-19. A lot of states. So it was crazy. Just seeing countries like the Ozarks, the like places in Florida.
I'm here saying to myself, like, are we in the same country? Because my Memorial Day, I was in my house all day.
I went to work and like people were just having the time of their lives. And then the next 2 days we hear that the coronavirus rates have increased in like 10 states. And it would be crazy if those are ironically a few of the states. So it just shows like how a lot of people understand that, especially if it starts getting nice out where we are, is still up and down. It has not like consistently hot
in Florida.
In those hotter states. I understand the temptation. People want to go back to their normal lives. People want to go out, but this is like you have to make that sacrifice, because what's the point of everything opening, then people getting sick again,
and they close again,
and then everything closes down again, and then we have to be at home sheltering for even longer. Like, what's the point? So I thought that was interesting, and I just hopefully it doesn't get bad. Another big issue that came out recently was the murder of George Floyd. This happened in Minneapolis. I believe that's in Minnesota. And this happened I believe over the weekend. And it's a long video. I haven't watched the whole thing. I don't want to watch it because I don't want to get upset. But
the story is that the police was there because he was committing forgery. So I don't really understand whatever that means. So he did not resist arrest. The cameras showed that he was peaceful. It's like 5 police officers. Even if he was resisting arrest, 5 police officers can take 1 person. So they handcuffed him. He's on the side of the road. All of a sudden, the police officer, after that, he gets on the ground and like he has his knee on his chest.
And he's saying, "I can't breathe." People are screaming, recording it.
And police, it's not just one officer. The rest of them are just around him, just staring at him do this. So it's just baffling, because it's just in 2020 we're still hearing about these things. Unfortunately, we'll always hear about these things. And I just wonder, before cameras and all these smartphones were out, how I just makes you think how much these things were actually happening, but no one had the ability to capture them. So thankfully 4 of those police officers have been fired. They have
and the one who put his leg on his neck they want to charge him for murder, and he murdered him. There's no excuse for that. The mayor is tweeting out, if he was white, things would have been different. People are rioting. Yesterday was a crazy violent riot. I heard them messing up the targets down there. And like, honestly, I cannot blame them. Like, I can only imagine the pain on top of all that we're going through for you to kill another black life for no reason, no justification for murder. Even if it was forging, is that why you kill somebody?
Even if he was stealing,
is that why you kill somebody? Like, I'm just tired of white America just getting away with doing things that they can never try to do to their fellow white person. If these same people get annoyed and think that, oh, black people are complaining too much, oh, we're always talking, we're like making a big deal, but when do you see white children getting these things happening to them? It's not that I don't believe that black people are any more violent. This Minnesota is 18% black, but 40% of the people in prison are black in Minnesota. That's incorrect math. There's a system, whether people want to accept it or not. There's a system that is oppressing black people in America and keeps them in jail and things of that nature. So it's just very upsetting that things like this are still happening. We're still dealing with Ahmaud Arbery, and then on top of this now we have another black man dead. And this kind of going off of this is that the white lady in Central Park, I don't remember her name, but the guy's
Amanda Cooper,
and the guy's name is Christian Cooper. Wow, and she'd have the same last name. He's like a Harvard grad. He was, I believe,
which is not relevant.
Yeah, but that's just they're pushing that out to show that he's not that type of black person.
Yeah,
he was bird watching. Told her to put her dog on a leash. You know, in Central Park, you know, these people want to have their. I would be so terrified of when I'm scared of dogs. So if I saw a dog not on a leash, I would be losing my mind. But she said, "Oh no, something, whatever." Then he. Talking, he starts recording her, then she calls the police. Oh my God, African-American man is something.
Before she calls the police, she mentions, "I'm gonna call the police and let them know that a black American man is endangering my life." So basically she's letting him know clearly that, like, you know what, I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get you. And just imagine, like, and Ngozi knows that sometimes I walk around the neighborhood and I don't bring my phone because I'm like, oh, I just want to get away from I want to get away from like unplug. I just want to be with nature. And it just opened my eyes like, no, you cannot be leaving your house without your phone. God forbid something happen. You can record it. You can be an advocate. You can, you have some type of proof. Like for me to even have to be thinking about these things now, because 24/7 we're plugged in. I just want to go walk in nature. I want to take an hour long walk in my neighborhood. And this just was an eye opener. Like, no, you cannot do that. Wherever you go, make sure your phone is there. Because if he didn't have his phone, imagine if his phone was dead or he left it in the car, whose word would have won? The hedge. She has worked for a freaking hedge fund.
She lost her job and she lost her dog.
Do you think that's called for? Do you think she should have lost her job?
Yes.
Her dog, yes.
Yes, but her job, yes, because I feel as if she needs to know that type of rhetoric is not acceptable. If she thinks she can use race to threaten people, she shouldn't be working at that type of job. She shouldn't have, if she's working with hedge funds on Wall Street and she has such a big job, she should know better.
And then some people, because me and you guys are very up to date, we watch The View every day. Shout out to The View. So they were arguing that this woman voted for Obama and is like a liberal Democrat. So what people just need to understand is that not every Republican is
comes
racist.
in all different forms.
Not every Republican is racist, and not every Democrat is woke. Okay, anyone can be racist, and even people that don't think they're racist still are racist. Okay, and so we just have to stop with these like stereotypes and thinking that because this person voted for Obama, still half white. Obama's not Van Jones. Obama's not Farrakhan. Obama's not a fully 100% black man. Maybe she wouldn't even have voted for him if he was. You know what I mean? So we need to stop thinking that we can like gauge how racist someone is by the neighborhood they live in or the things,
how many black friends they have,
or who they voted for, or who they didn't vote for. It's totally not true. But because I'm totally good that what if she was really just nervous? Because I'm not gonna front.
She was nervous. She'll put her dog on a leash and she'll walk away.
You're right. Because I'm not gonna.
She wasn't scared. She was there talking back and entertaining.
Listen, race is a big issue, but let's be real. I'm a black woman, and there's sometimes I'm in urban black environments, and I get scared when I see certain type of people. You get what I'm saying? And I'm a black woman. There's some type of men I will see that are black. I'm gonna cross the street. There's some type of men I'm gonna see that I'm gonna, after they leave, I'm gonna keep turning back to make sure they didn't. Like, I'm just gonna be real. So like outside of race, there is a way that someone can just feel uncomfortable, right? But the issue is that if you're that uncomfortable, why not walk away? You're the one telling him don't record me. He did not even. He's telling you, please don't come closer to me. He was in the video saying, please don't come close to me. Please don't come any closer. So if you're really that scared, why wouldn't you just keep running? I would start running. I would let my dog start running. I would just be running away. So just, there was a versus battle with Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer, but we missed it because we were watching Living in Bondage. Okay?
Yes, and I found out about that. I was someone had posted on Instagram and on Instagram, and I asked her about it. Are you sure this is up? Because I've been searching where to watch Living in Bondage forever. I was supposed to watch it when I was in Nigeria, December, January, but we didn't have time to go to the movies, and it ended up happening in Ghana. We were supposed to go.
Watch it too.
Long stories, because I just watched the first original one in November, and I was like, oh my god, this is such a good movie. I want to see how this remake is gonna be. Plus, like my family member is one of the producers in it. She's one of like the executive producers. I never met her before. So I was like, her mother came over like early, like in late last year, and she was telling us about the movie, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to watch it. So it was like so many reasons why I'm like, I need to watch this. How did you feel about it?
So the first one, let's put some context. The first one was like came out of the 90s, right? So over like 25 years ago. So that's what made it more exciting, because I just watched it and they use like some of the same characters.
It was all Igbo.
Yeah, it was also, that's what I liked it. But this one, I felt like it was good, but I think I hyped it up more. It didn't really meet my expectations because I was almost like overexcited to watch it, and it was kind of long. It was like 2.5 hours, and I felt as if
the first one was long, like 4 hours.
It was took 2 parts, but I feel like more could have happened in that 2.5 hours.
I feel like at the end, I still don't understand what happened, like what was the movie about, because a little bit of we don't any spoilers, but in the first movie, you have Andy Okeke, you have married. He's not making money. He gets introduced by Polo into this little association. He has no idea what's happening. He finds out it's a call. He has to bring his wife's blood. She ends up dying. So much things happening. He meets Ego. Ego takes his money, runs away. Another one of these girls died. At the end of the day, he gets saved and gives his life to Christ. It's basically the synopsis of the story. So part 2 is starting off with his son.
His son that he never
even
which
that
storyline was a bit fishy. Like
Ego, one of his girlfriends in the first part, had a son and didn't tell him. She ended up dying.
Ego died though before.
Yeah, but she could have died a year after she left him and had a child before she died.
You think they could have showed us like much later in her life when she died? I'm saying in the first part she died. We saw her die.
Yeah, but she could have had a child before she died. They
wouldn't have showed us her pregnant.
They could have skipped that. Of course, we're just assuming they're trying to drag her. Andy Okeke is in it, the same character, but he's a priest now, which is makes sense after all he went through. Like, there's nothing else that could really move you. Like, you might as well just give your life to Christ. Like, literally give your life to Christ. And his son that he doesn't know about is being raised by Ego's sister and her husband. So they have one child, and like that's like his brother that he grew up with, but that's really actually his cousin, his first cousin. So I don't know whether the act, because I can't remember the guy's name. I'll put it down there. I've watched movies before him, and I think maybe that's part of it. I don't want to be mean, but I feel like they could have got a better person to play Ndiokeke's son.
You think so?
I don't think he was that great of an actor. Like, I feel like if it was like Yo Edochie, it was like another actor, I feel like they would have been able to bring more like passion.
I don't think it was the acting really. I think it was just like the
storyline.
It was like direct, because basically from the beginning, within the first 30 minutes, he knew who his father was and what happened. So why did it take 2 hours for them to show us?
And then Ramsey Noah, and then about him trying to join this little whatever, and he basically knew what it was about, but still joined it, and it basically ends with him basically trying to kill himself. And it ends in the hospital after he tried to kill himself.
So I think there'll be a part 2.
It has to be, because I basically feel like nothing really happened. Like, so what's next? Like, did you join? Are you still a part of the cult? Like, what happened to what's the girl you met that he was dating?
That girl,
the evil girl? I don't remember her
that
name.
Was cute. I liked her.
Yeah, the love line, how they brought in like highlights. It was cute, but I just feel as if like it was a lot of running around. Like, I don't see just Ramsey Noah back and forth. Ramsey Noah keep giving him stuff, keep sending him money, keep gassing it up. Like, what really, can't really say progressively like anything really
it just
happened.
dragged a little bit.
Yeah.
For 2.5 hours, I just thought more would happen. Like, maybe he would like run away and go abroad, and then like come back, or like him and the girl would escape somewhere. I don't know, but there'll be a part 2. But I was just so happy it came,
and we ended
came
up,
on Netflix.
And while watching that, it was a Saturday night. I come on Instagram and everyone's talking about the Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer versus.
I don't want to sound ignorant, but I always hear Bounty Killer.
Bounty Killer has mad songs. Like, if I go on him right now, like he has so many songs. Like, he's like the big ones up there. Maybe he didn't get.
I don't really like. I just know Beanie Man. I feel like was more westernized. Like Beanie Man used to be like on BET.
King of the Dance Hall.
King of the Dance Hall. But like Bounty Killer, I don't really know. Is he boom bye bye?
Hey baby.
Oh, that's Bounty Killer.
I feel like he's more old school. Like,
Yeah,
he's not as mainstream.
too.
But everyone I've seen was reposting Beanie Man. I just feel like Beanie Man probably just has a bigger following. But I live on Instagram, and Bounty Killer has more followers than Beanie Man.
Really?
So it just depends where you are. Maybe people in Jamaica know Bounty Killer more.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Beanie Man is more westernized.
Yeah, Beanie Man's more.
I remember him.
King of the Dance Hall.
Take the stars out the sky for me. Zagada. That's him, right? Yeah,
so I just feel like I'm just so tight because any of y'all know me, like, I love dance hall.
Mind you, I told Ngozi about this versus.
I didn't know. I thought it was on Sundays. I love reggae. Like, I prefer.
I haven't watched any of them yet, but I hear so much about them. I really should start tuning in.
So I'm just tight about that. I saw little clips and it seemed lit, and they did the Jamaican national anthem before they started. It was very cute, very patriotic.
I saw like the police tried to shut it down or something, and then they left, and it kept continuing, and people kept making memes about Beanie's stomach that he looked pregnant.
Oh my God.
That's just what I saw. Thank God for Instagram will catch you up to things that you didn't even attend. You get to get some bits and pieces.
Yep. So then our last topic is about. What's his name? Michael Todd?
Yeah, so as for everyone probably knows, like, he came out with this book, Relationship Goals. I didn't know who he was. I just been told about him like by a few friends. People have told me to watch the series. All over my Instagram, like last week, I saw a lot, specifically girls, which we're gonna get to.
Like screenshotting pages of the book.
Oh, my book came.
My friend got
my book. I'm just like, wow. So this relationship goes. So ironically, about like a couple weeks before that, since now we can't go to church, I was streaming the church I usually go to, but then Ngozi started streaming his church, Transformation Church, and it was the message titled "Rip Up Your List." So it was like wow, okay. So after listening to our church, we listened to that one. I was like, this is different because I like how he wasn't just like a lot of people just want to talk about dating when it comes to lists. But let's be real, human beings, we make lists about everything, whether it's our career, whether it's money, whether it's relationships, you know what I mean? So he was just talking about like, a lot of times that like our lists are not aligned with God and that we should just rip them up. Because he said how he came up with that title is that him and his wife, since they've been like promoting the book, a girl asked his wife, like, did Pastor Todd have everything on your list that you would have wanted on your list? And she was like, no, like he had nothing that was on my list. And then so that's when he came up with the thing like rip up your list, because a lot of times what's on your list is what you want, but not necessarily what you need, right? So the only issue I have with this relationship goals thing is that I feel like a lot of these pastors and a lot of these seminars, they're really just geared towards women. And I follow just same amount of probably men as women on Instagram, maybe a little bit more women. I did not see one guy posting on his story, look at this book, Relationship Goals I just bought. I didn't see one guy posting, oh, Mike Ty. I don't see one guy telling me, oh, like, I just feel like they're always like speaking to women, but do women propose? Do women find a man? Do women get on one knee? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, a woman can have all the things. She could not have a list. She could be willing to deal with Tyrone. She could be willing to deal with a guy with no job, with nothing to offer. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that guy's going to commit to her. It is a man that chooses a wife.
That narrative of women always target us as if we're the ones who only need to change. We're the only ones who need to be prepared.
And I know sometimes
we're the ones who need to fix stuff, and it's not true. Like, equally, relationship takes two people. If anything, I feel like these books would be targeted more towards men. Wake up, stop wasting your life, and go get married.
So I think that's why, not to cut you off, I think that's why relationship goals bring in another angle, because it's a man, specifically a black man, writing this type of, not like usually we had a lot of this stuff from women, like, you know,
older men,
like
but
he's like
Harvey,
but he's a young black man that says that he wished he knew some of these things early in life. He wished someone would have told him, stop trying to be a music producer, instead get right with Christ. Like, you know, he wished that someone would have told him these things. But the issue is that, like, it's not just about, even if he's trying to target men and women equally, because he does, like, in his sermons, I watch a couple of them, he'll be like, tell the guy, I'm happy. He's like, you guys need to rip up your list too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a woman thing, because I feel like there's this narrative that says, especially when it comes to black women, we're just so picky. We want too much. We want a man that went to school. We want a man.
Part of that is true.
That's another. I think part of it is true, but it's not wrong. It isn't wrong. It's not wrong for a woman who went to school for 10 years to also want a man that went to school.
But is it realistic when you want that?
Thank you. It's not realistic. That's what the argument we could have. Is it realistic? It's not realistic, but it's not wrong. It's not wrong for someone who is educated to want someone that's educated. It's not wrong for someone that makes $90K to want her husband to make around the same salary, because we know money is the number one reason for divorce. It's not wrong for her to want those things, but when you are limiting yourself to a specific group, specifically black men, then you're not being realistic. Yeah, your list is not wrong. It's just not realistic. I'm happy that's coming from a man, but at the same time, it's not about who it's coming from. Who cares about this message? Like, who is taking it in? Who is buying the book? Like, I really want to see some statistics. I really want to see some men posting on my feed, oh, relationship goals, this book was lit, overloaded, oh, blah, blah, blah. Because all I'm seeing is always women. I feel like this conversation is always being targeted to women. It's always being talked about to women. And I just feel as if, are women really doesn't it take two? Even if you put this woman and make her so perfect and make her drop the list, you make her do everything.
I think it comes down to supply.
She can't marry
demand.
herself.
So that's what it comes down to. Women are the ones who are, I feel like, are more, not, I don't want to use the term desperate, they're the ones who want marriage more.
You think so?
So you're going to target that audience, because if you want something, you'll be the ones more willing to do work. Same way, a lot of black men that are even big on social media, who do they go through to weight loss? They go to women. Black women, because they're the ones that want to lose the weight, so they have a bigger audience opposed to going to fellow men.
They have more issues with
body. So I just feel like it comes down to it's a marketing strategy. Audience. Like, the women are the ones who want to get married. A lot of these men, they don't know the answer. They're not interested. Yeah, that's right. Not. So why am I going to write a book about men to go get married, but they obviously are not crazy about getting married? That's wasting my time. So I just feel like it's marketing. That's what it comes down to. But I do want to eventually read the book. My friend has it. My cousin have it. A couple of people I know have it. So I eventually do want to read it. But at this point, I'm not really into all these relationships, because I just feel like it can just start making. I think that a lot of them have a lot to say, but I feel like half of it we already know in our heads.
And there's no rules.
There's no rules. Like, you have to go based on your situation and how you feel as you're going with each individual is different. Everyone is different. For somebody, ignoring them may not work. For somebody, it just depends on people's personalities are different. So I feel like you can't be so cut and dry. But of course, there are bigger take-home messages that you could take from a lot of these stuff. But at the end of the day, you don't really know. Trying to understand these guys, you have headaches. So I'm not really crazy about trying to understand how men think and their psychology. They can keep their psychology. I'm not really interested.
But the theory is that if you learn how they think, you know, their psychology, you'll be able to position yourself in a way, or be able to do certain things, or understand why they're acting a certain way.
Of course, but
understand why they do things this way, do things that way.
Of course, but let us know. You know, we don't want to ramble. We've been talking for a bit. Couple topics. Let us know how you feel about everything we've spoken about. If anything that resonated with you, whether it be the murder of George Floyd, Central Park, living in bondage. If you watched it, let us know how you felt about it in the comments, because I definitely had mixed feelings about this. And if you're reading relationship goals, let us know how you feel about it. And don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, share this, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.